My name is Rowan Hale. I'm 36 years old, and I was born into a family that owns more real estate in Arizona than most banks. My sister Maribel is the face of Hale Holdings. Boardrooms adore her, politicians owe her favors, and our mother calls her the backbone of this family. Me. I write ghost articles for desert lifestyle blogs and still drive the same dented Nissan from college. I've always been the inconvenient Hale. Too soft, too slow, too sentimental to be trusted with power. For most of my life, I believed that meant I was safe. But last Tuesday, when I took Maribel's luxury SUV in for a routine repair and the technician looked me in the eyes and whispered, "Disable the GPS and leave now," I realized being invisible doesn't mean you're untouchable. The garage was colder than I expected. The kind of cold that didn't come from AC vents but from metal, concrete, and secrets. Evan Rourke didn't smile when I gave him the key. He didn't ask if the car had been stalling, didn't small talk about Scottsdale's 109-degree heat. He just scanned the tag and vanished through a back bay door like I was part of the background noise. 10 minutes later he came back and leaned in. Too close. I could smell iron and oil on his breath. "Disable the GPS, leave the car, and don't drive home." I blinked. "Excuse me." He didn't repeat it, just motioned to the lifted SUV behind him. "Come here." Inside the SUV, the touchscreen showed a diagnostics interface. Sleek, unfamiliar, high-end. "This isn't factory software," he said flatly. Someone added a live module. "Encrypted." "What does that mean?" "It's tracking you. Not the car. You. Every stop, every idle, every door open, seat weight, even cabin mic logs." "That's not possible," I said. "This is my sister's car." "She wouldn't." He cut me off. "It's registered to a company in Tempe. Not a dealership. Not even a GPS provider." He tapped the screen. A logo blinked in the corner. Athenex Risk Solutions. Something about it rattled a memory loose. An offhand mention during one of Maribel's spa lunch business calls. "They're watching," Evan said quietly. "Not just where you go. What you say. They can listen through the car." "That's illegal." He gave a dry, exhausted smile. "You think that matters to people like your sister?" I swallowed. "People like Maribel. They ever teach you this?" he asked, turning to me. "When someone controls the narrative, they don't need bars. Just doubt. Just one person saying she's not okay, and the rest follows." "You're scaring me," I said. "Good." He killed the power to the console. The screen went black. "I'll disable what I can," he said. "But there may be a secondary unit, something deeper. Hardwired. You need to leave it. Walk away." "Walk where?" "Anywhere not here." He handed me back the key fob. "You didn't hear this from me." I stepped out into the sunlight. It felt hotter than before, like the sky was pressing down. The SUV clicked when I approached it again. Too loud. Too deliberate. I started the engine. The console rebooted. No diagnostics screen. Just the usual luxury interface. Normal. Too normal. I drove. 3 blocks out, I pulled over behind a Circle K. My heart was pounding. I tried to laugh, shake off the tension. Maybe Evan was paranoid. Maybe it was nothing. My phone buzzed. "Maribel, where are you?" The car just went dark. I stared at the screen. Her tone was wrong. Too measured. Too immediate. Like she'd been watching it. Not waiting for me to finish the errand. Then the dashboard lit up. By itself. Console flashing. GPS interface glowing again, but this time it was simpler. No map. Just a line of text. Location reestablished. Tracking resumed. I wasn't the one driving anymore. They were. I killed the engine. The dashboard lights faded. But my heart kept pounding in their place. The car felt hotter inside now. The air too still, like something was holding its breath along with me. My phone buzzed again. Same number. Maribel. Where exactly are you, Rowan? Not how are you. Not is the car okay. Just where? I dropped the phone face down on the seat. Every second I sat there felt like a countdown, like a weight pressing down, telling me to move. I slipped out of the SUV and walked fast, too fast, through the Circle K parking lot. Behind me, the taillights flared for half a second, like the car was watching me leave. The first lie came out of my mouth at the register. Lost my keys. Need to wait for a ride. The cashier didn't care. I found a bench out front, sat down, and pulled my phone from my bag. I didn't open messages. I didn't call anyone. I opened the GPS app. The one synced to Maribel's cloud. The one we used when she insisted on helping me stay on schedule. A single blinking pin appeared. It wasn't the car. It was me, labeled in neat, sterile font. Subject: R. Hale active. I turned off Bluetooth. The pin didn't move. I switched to airplane mode. It flickered, but it stayed. I felt it like a burn under my skin. This wasn't about the SUV. It was about me. They don't need to control you, my old therapist once said. They just need to make everyone else think you can't control yourself. I threw the phone in my purse and stood. A car passed slowly. A black sedan. Tinted windows. Out-of-state plate. I turned away before I could memorize the number. I didn't want it. I didn't want any of this. I walked 6 blocks, changed direction 3 times, ducked into a nail salon, and borrowed their Wi-Fi to book a rideshare. I used a prepaid card. The name on the account was fake. A trick I'd learned after my last fallout with Maribel, when she shut off my bank card by accident. You can't protect people and control them at the same time, I'd told her then. She smiled and said, "Watch me." The car dropped me 2 blocks from home. I didn't go straight in. I took a long way around, through the alley behind the trash bins, like a stranger casing her own life. Inside, I locked all the doors. Then I sat on the floor of the laundry room, surrounded by detergent fumes and my mother's old ironing board, and started calling people who still owed me favors. Only one picked up. Caleb Ward, my sister's longtime security consultant, former military, built like a doorframe and twice as difficult to open. "Rowan," he said, like my name is a problem. "I need to meet." Why? Someone put third-party tracking hardware in Maribel's SUV, and it's following me. Silence. Then where are you? Safe. He didn't push. Smart man. We'll talk. Bring everything you've touched since this morning. I hung up and stared at the laundry vent like it might start whispering. Half an hour later, I was at his office, neutral ground, neutral carpet, walls the color of dry sand. Not a picture in sight. Caleb locked the door behind me, motioned to the chair. He didn't ask what happened, just said talk. I laid it out in pieces. The garage, the whisper, the GPS, the tracking label. He listened like stone listens to wind. When I finished, he tapped something on his tablet, pulled up a file, slid it toward me. I opened it. Medical records. My name. Diagnosis. Initial behavioral drift. Suggestive of early onset dissociation. Dated last week. Initialed Dr. Vaughn Mercer. A family psychiatrist. Private. Discreet. Well compensated. What the hell is this? I whispered. Your sister sent it, Caleb said. As context. Context for what? He took the file back. Didn't answer. Instead, he said, Maribel's trying to preempt something. Not damage control. Pre-control. Control of what? Caleb gave a tiny shrug. Assets. Statements. Testimony. Maybe your power of attorney. No, I said. No one can do that without court involvement. He looked at me deadpan. If the right evaluations exist, if there's concern for public safety. My stomach flipped. And if there's a record, he added, of you acting unstable, say running from a clinic, forgetting conversations, acting paranoid. "It's being built," I said. "Right now." He didn't nod. Didn't have to. Outside, a car door slammed. Too close. I went still. Caleb walked to the window and looked through the blinds. Black SUV. Not the same one as earlier. He turned back to me. "They're not going to ask you to come with them. Not next time." My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. No text. Just a calendar notification. Mental health evaluation, 9 a.m. Mandatory. And beneath that, one line. Failure to appear may result in protective action. The clinic was too quiet. Not hospital quiet. Not health spa quiet. Controlled quiet. The walls were all soft tan and artless. Carpet deep enough to bury sound. A single water fountain bubbled with the fake calm of money well spent. A receptionist in all beige took my ID without asking a single question. She didn't smile. I signed nothing. Security cameras were mounted at shoulder height. Not overhead, eye level. That was deliberate. I waited 5 minutes. Not more. Not less. Then Dr. Von Mercer stepped into the waiting room like he'd been rehearsing his entrance. He wore pale blue, not a wrinkle on him. His smile was slow, clinical. "Rowan, it's good to see you again." I didn't shake his hand. "Let's make this quick," I said. He led me down a hallway that looked more like a private airport lounge than a clinic. Polished wood. No staff in sight. Lights dimmed just below comfortable. Inside his office, he gestured to a low, velvet chair. I sat on the edge, spine locked. He stayed standing. "You've had a rough few days," he said. "That's not a question." "No, but it's a pattern. You've been reported as erratic, disconnected, paranoid." "Reported by whom?" He didn't blink. "Your sister, your brother, your mother, the estate manager." "Of course," I whispered. He turned a tablet toward me. "I'd like you to watch something." I didn't move. The screen came alive on its own. Video footage. Me, on a balcony, swaying. Then another, in a parking garage, shouting at no one. Then another, in a grocery store, dropping a bottle and walking away like it didn't happen. I had no memory of any of it. But it was me. Same coat. Same shoes. Different expressions. Flat eyes. Loose limbs. I watched in silence. "Tell me what you're seeing," he said. "I'm seeing someone who looks like me." "That is you." "No, that's footage you have." His lips curled just slightly. "Rowan, denial is a natural defense. But the evidence is mounting." "Who filmed this?" "Your family has access to public safety systems, as do our partners." I stood up. "Rowan, you're not here to evaluate me. You're here to validate them." His eyes tightened. "I have concerns," he said slowly, "that you may be entering a dissociative state. I'd like to request a 72-hour hold, just for your safety." "You'd like to disappear me?" "No," he said. "We want to help." "You're not a doctor. You're a handler." Silence. "Then you can leave for now. But if you miss the next check-in, I'll be forced to file a mandatory report." I stepped out into the hallway. A man was waiting near the door, wearing black, not clinic staff. I walked past him. Outside, the sun hit like an interrogation lamp. Asphalt shimmered. Every car looked like surveillance. I kept walking. Block after block. Phone clenched in my hand. I opened my photo gallery. Tapped recently watched. Found the clinic video. Paused it at the balcony clip. Zoomed in. There, in the reflection of the window pane. Another person filming me, from an angle the camera couldn't be at. The footage was staged. I took a screenshot. Time-stamped it. Someone had fabricated a narrative. The last time someone lied that easily about me, I was 16, and my sister told the dean I forged our father's signature on a tuition check. I didn't. She did. But I didn't speak up. I thought silence would keep the peace. It didn't. I'd been bleeding credibility ever since. Now they were coming for the rest. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Just one text. Your sister didn't start this. Attached was a photo. The SUV from 2 days ago. Parked outside a dark building. Driver's door open. No license plate. I zoomed in. In the passenger seat, barely visible, was a printed folder with my name on it. The timestamp? Yesterday. 3:17 a.m. I hadn't been outside since midnight. They'd been tracking me while I slept. Or someone had used my name again. Sometimes, my father used to say, truth doesn't survive power. You have to bury it deeper than the lie, then dig it up yourself. I didn't know where to dig, but I knew where to run. I reached the end of the block. Stopped. The black SUV was parked across the street. Still, engine running. The passenger door opened. No one inside, just waiting. And this time, they weren't asking me to come willingly. I didn't run. I walked. Straight. Calm. Like I belonged on that sidewalk. Like I didn't notice the black SUV behind me, creeping, half a block back. If I ran, I'd be confirming the narrative they were trying to build. Unstable. Delusional. Escalating. So I walked. Breath even. Back straight. Eyes forward. The hardest part wasn't hiding fear. It was hiding the urge to scream. 2 blocks later, I ducked into a co-op coffee shop on 5th and Grant. The kind of place with mismatched mugs and chalkboard menus. A camera behind the counter. Customers with earbuds, faces down. Safe enough. I went to the restroom and locked the door. Breathe. Then I texted Caleb. Me, they tried to pick me up. Me, clinic was a setup. Me, footage is fake. I saw the reflection. No reply. I didn't wait. In this game, delay was a weapon. Trust doesn't mean safety. It just means you'll bleed slower when they cut you. I stared at the cracked tile behind the mirror, then pulled my burner from my bag, the one Maribel didn't know about. I called someone I hadn't spoken to in 4 years. Cleo Jennings, my former roommate, freelance cyber investigator, spite-driven and always in debt. She picked up on the 3rd ring. No hello. I thought you were dead, she said. Or rich. Neither. I need you. What did Maribel do now? Installed black-grade surveillance in her own car, and someone used a deep fake to trigger a mental health report on me. Pause. Then, I'm listening. 10 minutes later, we met in the basement of a medical supply warehouse Cleo used as a crash pad. The door had 4 locks and a heat sensor. The lights flickered. She handed me a hoodie. You're burning from the inside, she said. Let's get you some insulation. Where's your equipment? She pointed to a janky desktop setup held together with duct tape and caffeine. What are we digging? I slid her the screenshot, the reflection in the video, then the metadata on the photo of the SUV. She whistled. Whoever staged this didn't cover their exif trail. Someone got lazy. Or confident. Cleo frowned. Worse. She typed. Fussed. Like the keys owed her money. 5 minutes in, she paused. Then turned the monitor toward me. A file directory. Dozens of entries labeled RH. My initials. Subfolders. Dates. Voice memos. Behavioral logs. Jesus, I whispered. They've been watching me for years. No. This doesn't go back that far, she said. 6 months max. But, she clicked one. A memo. Row in, entry 7. Subject, showing signs of disengagement. I recognized the voice. It was my therapist. I never recorded our sessions. But someone else had. Cleo leaned in. There's a system ID here. This is tied to an internal network, corporate, not public. Whoever did this has access to both private security and family holdings. That hit me harder than the SUV ever could. I was being handled from both ends. Sanitized by strangers. Undermined by blood. There's something else, Cleo said. She tapped deeper. A legal doc. Partial. Blurry. But enough to read. Proposed power of attorney. Pitatonar, Maribel Hale. On behalf of Rowan Hale. Intent. Financial safeguarding / mental health proxy. No signatures. Yet, they're getting ready to lock you out of your own life, Cleo muttered. Digitally, financially, physically. I need proof this is premeditated. You already have it. No. I need paper. Original. Physical. She blinked. Then you need to go to the source. I already knew where. The Hale guest house. Denicali Mine. Legally under my name. Practically? Another holding in Maribel's chessboard. But there was something they didn't know. In the floor of the guest house, under the old wool rug, was a hidden panel. And beneath that, a fireproof case I'd hidden 3 years ago. I didn't remember what I put inside, just that I was scared the day I did it. Bring gloves, Cleo said, and don't touch the doorknobs with bare hands. I left her with a burner phone and the files. Then I drove. Back roads. No GPS. I kept the phone off. At the guest house, everything was quiet. Too quiet. I stepped in. The scent of lemon cleaner hit like a slap. Too fresh. Someone had been here. But the rug was still there. I moved it aside. Found the panel. Opened it. Inside was the case. Unmarked. Locked. Combination? I didn't remember. But muscle memory did. My hand moved without thinking. 3 to 0, 9 to 7. It clicked open. Inside, a flash drive, an old key, a notarized envelope, and at the bottom, a single Polaroid. Maribel, in the corner of a ballroom, talking to someone I knew wasn't supposed to exist. Someone we were told died years ago. Only the note on the back said one word. Proof. And just then I heard it. The front door. Unlocking. From the outside. The lock turned. Once. Twice. I slid the flash drive into my pocket and snapped the case shut. No time to hide it. No time to think. Footsteps crossed the threshold. Slow. Familiar. Rowan. Maribel's voice. Soft. Controlled. The voice she used in boardrooms and funerals. I stayed still, behind the half wall near the kitchen, heart hammering so loud I was sure the cameras could hear it. If there were cameras, there were always cameras. Don't do this, she said. You're scaring everyone. I stepped out. Her eyes flicked to my hands, to my bag, to the floor where the rug had been moved. You've been here, she said, not angry, assessing. I live here, I said, or I used to. She sighed, the practiced sigh of someone tired of managing a problem. You don't understand what's happening. I understand plenty, I said. Enough to know you've been lying to doctors and planting footage. She flinched, just a fraction. Rowan. Stop, I snapped. Every lie needs a witness. You chose me. She took a step closer. You were spiraling. You don't see it. None of this was meant to hurt you. I laughed. It came out sharp. Ugly. That's the thing about control, I said. People always confuse it with care. Her phone buzzed. She checked it. Paled. That was when I knew. This wasn't her plan. The back door slammed. 2 men came in. Black jackets. Novadis. One of them spoke into his sleeve. Subject located. Maribel turned to me. Panic now, real and unfiltered. This wasn't supposed to happen like this. I bolted. Through the kitchen. Past the dining room. The glass doors at the back were already closing. I slid. Slammed my shoulder. Cracked through just before they sealed. The yard was dark. Floodlights snapped on. I ran. Gravel tore at my shoes. Breath burned. I cut left. Jumped the retaining wall. Rolled. Came up running again. A hand grabbed my jacket. I twisted. Elbowed. Heard a grunt. Someone shouted. I reached the side gate. It was locked. A vehicle engine roared nearby. I turned and froze. A man stepped out of the shadows. Tall. Calm. Caleb Ward. Rowan, he said. Stop. You set me up, I hissed. He shook his head. Not like this. Then move. Listen, he said. If you keep running, they'll make it official. Emergency hold. Mandatory reports. You'll disappear into paperwork. They're already doing that. Yes, he said quietly. But now they're rushing. That's a mistake. One of the men closed in behind me. Caleb raised a hand. Back off. They hesitated. Authority recognized authority. Caleb looked at me. Give me what you found. No. Then show me. I pulled out the Polaroid, the flash drive, the notarized envelope. His jaw tightened. Where did you get this? Under my floor, I said. Like a secret I left myself. He glanced at the Polaroid. Recognition flickered. That man's supposed to be dead, he said. So I'm not crazy. No, he said. You're inconvenient. One of the men reached for me again. Caleb turned, sharp. Stand down. They didn't. Caleb moved fast. A practiced pivot. A strike to the wrist. The gun clattered to the ground. I ran. Out the gate. Down the service road. Into the night. I didn't stop until the lights thinned and the houses turned to scrub and asphalt. I ducked into an abandoned office park. Locked myself in a stairwell. Slid down the wall. Hands shaking. I plugged the flash drive into my phone with an adapter Cleo had given me just in case. Files loaded. Names. Dates. Accounts. Shell companies. Trusts. A pattern emerged. It wasn't just me. There were others. Heirs. Spouses. Whistleblowers. All labeled the same way. Unstable. Non-compliant. Risk. At the center of it all wasn't Maribel. It was a holding entity tied to Hale Holdings. Legal. Sanitized. Untouchable. Power didn't need to hide anymore. I scrolled further. A memo stamped confidential. If subject resists, escalate to containment. A text came through. Unknown number. You weren't meant to see that. This ends tonight. The stairwell door creaked. Footsteps. I backed up, cornered. Then headlights flashed through the glass. A horn. 2 short bursts. A familiar signal. The door flew open. Caleb stood there, breathless. Get in, he said. No time to explain. Behind him, engines closed in. And for the first time, I wasn't sure who was saving me or why. Rain pounded the windshield like bullets, and the wiper struggled to keep up. Caleb drove in silence. His jaw clenched. Every red light felt like a countdown. They'll bury it, I said. Even if we get this in front of someone, they'll spin it. Mental health episode. Delusion. I've seen how they frame stories, and I'm the perfect, unreliable narrator. He didn't answer. Instead, he turned off the main road and pulled into a parking garage. Level 3. We stopped outside a steel door marked AMC, authorized access only. This is where the mandatory reports go, he said. Every doctor, every investigator, every case like yours. Filed. Scrubbed. Controlled. He turned to me. If you want to disappear for good, we go home. Say nothing. Burn the drive. But if you want to end this, we break in. I stared at the door. Funny thing about fear. It stops you from moving, until the bigger fear is what happens if you don't. I'm done being erased. He smiled, grim, resigned. Then let's leave a mark. Inside, the building buzzed with cold blue light. Cameras blinked in every corner. The hallway smelled like bleach and panic. We had 23 minutes. Caleb had looped the feeds. After that, alarms. We reached the records room. He slid the drive into the terminal. Uploading now. File scrolled. My name. My chart. My sister's testimony. The appointment I never remembered. The medication I never agreed to. But then other names. People like me. Patients flagged as hostile, incoherent, non-compliant. Each one had a common thread: assets contested, legal obstacles, inheritance disputes, corporate takeover red flags. They weaponized sanity, I whispered. They turned logic into madness and sold it as care. Caleb didn't look away. This isn't just you, he said. You're one of hundreds. The upload hit 98%. Then the power blinked. Darkness. Red emergency lights flared. Systems rebooting, Caleb said. We've got maybe 2 minutes before someone notices. Footsteps echoed down the hall. Too fast to be security. Too confident. Maribel. She stepped into the doorway. Her hair was wet. No umbrella. I begged them not to do it this way, she said. I stood. Don't pretend this wasn't yours. You think I could stop it? She asked. They called you a liability. You had access. You asked questions. I'm your sister. And you were ruining everything. I moved toward her. She didn't flinch. Do you want to hit me? She asked. Will that make it fair again? Because I can't fix what's broken in you. I never could. That's the thing, I said. You never saw the cracks were from you. She blinked. Behind me, the terminal beeped. Upload complete. Caleb ejected the drive. I backed away. They'll find you, Maribel said. Even if you run. I'm not running, I said. I'm exposing. She didn't follow. 1 week later, I sat in front of a microphone, live stream rolling. A journalist I barely knew had taken a risk. Independent outlet. Anonymous donors. No corporate backing. The video played. Files. Reports. Names. I read the memo aloud. If subject resists, escalate to containment. I looked into the lens. This isn't just my story. It's yours. It's every sibling who lost their voice. Every patient misdiagnosed because silence was more profitable than truth. Every woman told she was too emotional when she was just aware. The stream ended. My inbox exploded. Whistleblowers. Doctors. Victims. The dam cracked. It didn't change overnight. Some files vanished. Some names got smeared. Some donors backed out. But others stepped in. An investigation launched. 2 board members resigned. Maribel disappeared from public life. I moved into a small place near the coast. No cameras. No noise. Sometimes I watch the water and think, what does justice even mean anymore? Then I remember what I said to Caleb. If you can't win the whole war, start one fire no one can ignore. The last file on the drive was a letter. From my father, buried years ago, hidden behind legal jargon and sealed probate files. Rowan, if you're reading this, it means they didn't win. I left breadcrumbs. I hoped you'd find them. You always saw what others missed. That was your gift and your curse. Protect the truth, even when it hurts. I'm proud of you. Love. Dad. People say the truth sets you free, I whispered, standing on the cliff above the sea. They forget to mention it also burns everything down first. I let the letter go. Watched the wind carry it. Not erasing, just releasing.